Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, we're live. 2 seconds. Hello. Welcome to Rusty Judgment. I'm blessed to be joining you today with my wife. And that's always a blessing. So we had a bunch of questions submitted beforehand. I had left what do they call it? A post in the community section of my YouTube channel. So we have a bunch of questions. And it's so good to see you. I'm glad that you're here today. Dawn's confirming we're live by looking at her phone right now. She's not ignoring you.
We don't have good service.
We don't have a good service in here. Unless it's a computer. Oh, there, you just got a thingy, so it must be.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, it's Friday yet again. Do you feel like it's Friday before you know it?
I feel like it, yes. Yes.
So can I say what I was completely surprised by before we get into the questions from last week's video? Was it last week when we asked about the tile or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Dawn was, so Dawn, hold on. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. Dawn is usually very much a firm believer that she's right. No? That your opinion is the... I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm wrong on your channel all the time.
Okay, go ahead.
I get outvoted over here all the time. Oh, just that we asked 2 weeks ago, what should we do with the backsplash in the farmhouse? Mm-hmm. The options were subway tile or to do some kind of just quick, like top skim coat of something just to get it done and painted so we can get this thing rented out. Mm-hmm. Do I think subway tile would look the most beautiful and everything? Of course. But when we're like, time is of the essence, I thought more people would see the practical side of just doing a quick skim coat. What was the actual vote?
It was like 99.999995% subway tile.
Yeah.
And I think the thing, Dawn, is you attribute some quick and dirty thing as like real quick. Mm-hmm. But that's not always the case. Like the cheaper, more generic option isn't necessarily the fastest option in the long run.
No, I know, but what I had in mind was quick. There was no sanding. It was just a
there was no sanding.
I like this. I look for you too every time in Minnesota when I visit my daughter. Do you look for us at Menards? Because that's probably where you would find us.
That would be the most likely place because it's the store. Menards a quick trip. That's where I go the most.
Menards is probably where you get recognized the most, I think. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Yep. So anyways, you all voted subway tile. Mm-hmm. And what's been happening?
I tiled the backsplash. And here's the other thing, though. That it only actually took me a few hours to tile it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small backsplash. That's the thing.
And you lucked out where you didn't have to cut the tile. The 4 rows fit perfectly.
Well, yeah, height-wise. I did have to cut around all the outlets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to cut as much, no. Mm-hmm. But again, super small backsplash. Mm-hmm. Didn't take long.
Have you grouted it yet?
I have not grouted it yet.
Okay.
But what color are we going to grout it? That was another thing that came up.
Mm-hmm. Well, what color did you get?
Some kind of a really light gray, like I think it might have said pewterish something, but it's a light gray.
Mm-hmm. We agree with you all that to keep it clean.
Yeah.
And the grout that you get is maintenance free. It doesn't have to be sealed. It's never.
Yeah, it's sealed. Like it's a more expensive grout, but you get it at Home Depot. It's like the only thing about Home Depot. Well, I mean, outside of the Milwaukee things.
Yeah.
But you don't have to seal the grout. It comes pre-sealed. It's kind of like it's a different type of material.
A vinyl product,
yeah, it's a vinylish.
Mm-hmm. So it flexes a little. It shouldn't crack.
Yeah. And we haven't had it. That's the stuff we put in our personal house, and we've never had any issues with it.
Works great.
It's been going on.
It's just expensive.
7 years, 6 years since we did ours.
Yeah, I mean a little container is like $40, isn't it, or $36?
Yeah. Well, the container I got, I think, was like a quart.
Okay.
It was $62.
Yeah.
That was the most expensive thing in the whole backsplash. The entire backsplash install is like $85. $62 for way too big. I bought way too much. I probably should have bought the small one. But anyway.
Now we have it.
Share how to grout. I actually am recording a video on how to tile and grout. So that will be.
All right. You want to start rolling through these questions? Or?
Sure, I don't care. Are there? Oh no, can you read for me?
Yes. All right. The kids are helping a lot. Does that impact their school?
No. They don't actually, I mean, it looks like they help a lot, but they don't actually, on a day-to-day basis, they don't actually help a lot.
No, it kind of goes in spurts when there's stuff that they can help with.
Yeah.
And honestly, we see that as kind of part of their schooling too.
Yes.
Not to the point that we're like replacing it, but like we see that as an important part too.
Jeff asks, he is in Duluth right now. How far away are we from there? 4 hours, maybe.
3?
I know, but if we tell them 4, they think we're further away than we are. I mean, not Jeff. Jeff's
5.
Cool.
I know. 12.
Half hour. No.
Tom's 3 sisters live in the Duluth area though, so we go up there often to visit. So
not Duluth, the
area,
uglier part of that area.
All right. What would you do differently buying your next rental property?
One project at a time.
Yeah. I love
That's the only thing I would do different. One project at a time.
Otherwise, this is going to be a great rental.
It is.
The basement's a little meh, but it'll be fine.
The property itself is going to appreciate in value a ton, and it has. So that I think is really appealing to me.
And we talked about too, because I know there was things like you really should have moved the stove and the fridge. The kitchen's a little wonky, you know.
We really should have done a lot of things, but you just can't change everything.
But I think the location of the property is awesome. The acreage, it has a shed. The people that we imagine
has a brand new shed
that will rent it will overlook things like the stove's kind of far away from the sink. So
if not, they probably won't rent it.
Yeah, there's that.
That's
too.
Yeah.
Has the shop floor been poured yet?
Wednesday, it will be poured.
Big day.
So they came back. So the shop at our house, I have all the in-floor heat tubing down, all the foam, everything's all ready to go. The concrete guys came back and they put rebar down, and then they set my floor drain heights. They set the drains and mounted them so that when they pour, it'll all be done. And they should be back on Wednesday to do the pour. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Also, if anybody watching has a question too, if you put a question mark in front of it, then it's easier for us to see.
3
or 4.
No, that's like
too much. It's like you're yelling at us. Tom, what made you finally want to go minimalistic?
I don't necessarily know that I have. I mean, if we didn't have these silly projects, I would have way less stuff. I just wouldn't need all the tools and construction stuff. I've accumulated all this in the last 5 years, mostly.
You're very sensitive to inventory.
I get super stressed out over too much stuff and too much stress going on, which you could probably guess with all of these projects and all the home projects, and then being a dad and a husband. And
well, and we have
it's a lot of stress.
We don't always show it, but we have started getting dumpsters even at our own house, like once a year, where we just like go through every building and just clean house. And so I think that helps.
Yeah, no, I think that I do extremely well with low inventory and low stress.
Yeah. Did you do the tile on an angle or horizontal?
I don't know what you mean, but just like normal. Yeah.
We actually, in our first house, we did the flooring at an angle. Looks super cool.
Huge pain in the butt. So we put a walnut wood flooring. It was like engineered at a 45, and I put it throughout the entire house. First off, walnut, gorgeous floor, will only be clean for about 5 minutes, and then it's covered in dust again because it's super dark.
And we didn't even have pets in the house. It was just horrible to keep clean.
Every time the furnace kicked on, it was dusty.
We'll never do dark floors again.
Yeah, but it was beautiful.
Are you going to do more how-to videos?
I have 3 or 4 of them I'm in the midst of right now. Yes, I will be doing lots more how-to videos. Sorry, I should have just said that.
How hard is it to find renters for a farm like that? Have you had a good experience with renters, or would it be easier just to sell it again?
I think that with interest rates at 7-something%, selling it would be a poor decision right now.
Mm-hmm. We honestly don't believe we're going to have a hard time finding a renter for it. We've seen in our area, especially people, it wouldn't even have to be someone that wants the farm feature, but just owns a small business that wants the shed and the location that it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many cubic yards of concrete for the shed? Concrete has gone up in price.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't.
I have no idea. I didn't ask. The concrete guys manage all that because they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea. I never asked. I do believe it's going to be about 5 cement trucks-ish. Mm-hmm. But I'll let you know on Wednesday.
Yeah.
How many it actually was.
Septic. Did you do a septic for the office? No comment.
I don't know that we can answer that question. Get it off the screen. Sorry, you didn't read this one either.
Tom, Dawn says she has no decluttering regrets, but I would love to know if she's ever let something of yours go you wish she hadn't. That's my husband's fear.
All right. Ellie, I would like to speak to your husband, please. All right. Ellie's husband. My wife is the minimal mom. She's been decluttering professionally for many years. And then she's been decluttering unprofessionally for years before that. And I can assure you, there isn't a single thing that I can think of right now that I've wished she didn't get rid of mine.
Wow. That's impressive.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, like, I think maybe it's that I'm not that tied to stuff, but I do think I'm very sentimental. Mm-hmm. So maybe I just don't know about things she's gotten rid of that I would wish she wouldn't have. Like, I'm sentimental in the fact where, like, Dawn has stop putting things on the screen. I'm still answering Ellie's question.
Hey, I just thought this was funny, but go ahead.
Like Dawn has like specific dresses that I like. It's not my things, but like it's things I have really good memories and fond things tied to with her that I would hope she wanted to get rid of, things like that. But as far as like tangible stuff, I guess I don't really know that there's any of that. Ellie's husband, whatever your name is,
it'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
It'll be fine. Stuff's really easy to replace.
It really is. And that's actually like, sorry, that could sound kind of like,
oh man,
and stuff is no big deal. Which
no,
is
it's
stuff,
actually,
I mean,
yeah,
but
yep.
All right.
We just have a better balance with it now. Almost all of Tom's videos are how to or how not to. I thought that was funny.
Yep.
Dawn has inspired me to purge excess from my house, and Tom is going to help me with renos. Yep, there you go. So you get it cleaned out, and then you're like, ooh, what should we do in here?
How not to reno.
Tom, what are your best tips for repairing drywall?
I'm actually going to do a video on that soon because we have some drywall that needs to be repaired. Maybe by the kids' room.
Are you going to show how to install a doorknob?
I actually have like 6 doorknobs in this room, in this building that I need to install. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do any of your kids have interest in the trades?
I don't know. Dawn knows our kids more than I do.
Oh, stop it.
I'm kidding.
Yes, actually. Well, I don't know. Is excavating considered the trades, or is it more electrical, plumbing?
No. I think all that stuff is trades. I think anything.
Corbin already has big plans to have his own excavating.
Oh yeah. So
business.
Did any of you see Corbin running the mini excavator? He ran that thing for a day and a half, by the way. Like I showed him.
Does that like void? Can we say that? Does that like void the insurance?
It was a rental agreement.
I don't know. It all worked
out.
All
it went done fine. And gone.
He was in a big area.
Yep, he could spin 360 and not hit anything. He was seatbelted up. Yep. I told him he wasn't allowed to like drive it around. Well, that's the other thing. That was a small mini excavator.
Yeah. And
they're not fast. He wasn't digging like a jumbo hole. He was just digging a trench. Yeah.
Well, and my dad, because I grew up, my dad would let us like play with the backhoe and stuff. And he always taught us like you never walk anywhere within the boom can reach, right? And so we do try to have safety with it as well.
So I have to tell this. So he's digging a trench and he pulls up all rock. And Dawn's dad does this like notoriously. He will peel a rock up, and when he like swings it to set all the dirt in a pile, he flicks the rock like separately and like kind of starts making like a rock pile just naturally. So Dawn's dad's construction areas are always super clean and neat and orderly. And I walk up to Corbin after him out there for like an hour with me kind of in the same vicinity, but not really watching him. And he's got a pile of 2 or 3 boulders like he set aside. And I was like, you are your grandpa's grandson. Like,
yeah, it was really fun. I love this. I was jealous of your kids. I think who wouldn't want to run one of those, right? Like that is super. And I don't know, actually it wasn't as expensive to rent as I thought it would have been for something like that. So
do you know how much it was to rent?
I do know how much it was.
Okay.
All right. Catherine says, I loved how chill you both were or seemed when you spilled the paint. Were you really that chill?
Dawn was that chill. Tom may have had a meltdown and Dawn may have yelled at him and left. And then she came back. And then Tom was like almost in tears crying because I don't know. It felt like a huge setback. But no, we were not that chill. I was not that chill. Dawn was that chill.
I was like, please grab a phone and video this.
Like, and I'm like,
can
we please get it off the door? Please get it off the door.
Because I'm always like, if something's going to go wrong, at least get it on video. Like, otherwise it really doesn't count
I don't care about the video. Get it off the door.
So our minds go opposite directions when something like that happens.
Yep.
On your office floor, is there a layer of something under the flooring? So this actually came up because you did a video recently on putting in the vinyl plank.
Yep. Lots of people want to tell me what to do. I'm kidding. All right. So I do not put vapor barrier. So the question that came up was, why didn't you put a vapor barrier on top of the concrete before you put the vinyl plank flooring down? I don't need to, which is why I didn't. I actually mentioned this in a video that I haven't released yet. But this building has in-floor heat in it. So underneath what we're sitting on is like a foot of gravel. And then I covered the entire ground in a 6 mil poly, which is a heavy plastic, tape all the joints, and then 2 inches of foam, tape all the joints on that. Then you do the in-floor tubing, then you do rebar, then you do 4.5 inches of concrete. And then the concrete is sealed. And then I put vinyl plank flooring on it.
So that's why you don't need
So I don't need a vapor barrier because I've already got 2 vapor barriers under the slab.
There you go. And it's insulated. So it actually stays a really consistent temperature year round.
Yeah. No moisture has come through this floor ever.
Mm-hmm. And worst case, like if the heat would fail in here, there's like a thing, there's liquid in the
glycol.
Okay.
Yep.
Our kitchen has great wood cabinets with a thick finish that makes them super easy to clean, but I hate the color. Would it be worth it to refinish them with a different color? I think this paint that we get is awesome. It holds up super well. So I wouldn't be worried about the durability of it. I think that's good. I would just be, if you want to go through all the work of the process, would be my vote. What do you think?
And what does your spouse think?
Do you ever feel overwhelmed by all your projects?
What? How about you just take a guess?
8 times a day.
80 times a day. Yeah, no, I do a lot. Mm-hmm. Sure do.
All right, here's the big question. Ready? And you are going to do a full video with the cost of the farmhouse and breakdown and everything.
Yeah.
Are the 3 rentals debt free?
How about this? I'll give you a fractional answer there. What is?
I hit the wrong one.
2 out of 3 are. So the moved-in homes, those are debt-free. The farmhouse we have a mortgage on. All of our renovations are all done in cash on our personal residence and on investment properties, all cash. Yeah.
We've been very fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you getting a toilet and mini kitchen in your workshop?
I'm getting a wash tub in my workshop.
You said it against a bathroom.
Well, I don't want to have to put a septic system in or so the office building is right next to the shop. Like the shop is right back here. And I think we've been running to the house if you need to go to the bathroom for a while now. And now if we have a bathroom out here in the office, it's actually not that far to just walk to the office. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really think it was necessary.
Would it be? Oh yeah, down the road you couldn't because you put the in-floor heat too. So that ship has kind of sailed, right? If you
don't want to put a bathroom in there.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, technically, if we ever decided to finish like the back 20 feet,
you could add one then.
We could put one back there, but I don't know. That still seems kind of weird or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future may bring? but
you might regret it.
I don't
10 years
want
from
a
now,
bathroom down there.
You might say,
out there.
Wish I would have had a bathroom in there.
Nah.
Which project do you wish was finished to its entirety?
I would say this. I wrote all those questions down from people earlier.
So you've had time to think.
I've had time to think. I'm going to answer it in a trick way. All of the projects on our personal residence.
I wish for more wishes. It feels like that's what you're doing right now.
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, if everything was done on our personal residence, like the shop, the office, our house, like.
Oh, you are in a dream world.
I know, but if all of this stuff was done, then I could handle any of the outward things.
I feel like if the farmhouse were done and that was rented, that would be a big thing off of our plate.
It would be a thing off of my plate.
Okay.
Not a big, I don't think a big thing.
If you had to pick one of the three though, shop, farmhouse, moved in house, what would you pick?
That
was way harder than I was thinking it was gonna be.
Probably farmhouse.
Okay. Anyways. All right. You talk about digging a basement, then moving your house over it. Wouldn't it be easier to add an addition? What would be the cost comparison?
I think it would be easier, but I think you would end up with like a really wonky house.
Because we can't go.
And the definition of wonky is weird.
Well, we have that oak tree, so that like limits that whole corner, like the whole two sides of the house almost.
I had thought like, so if you can envision the layout of our main level, so the kids are upstairs, Dawn and I are on the one end. Like our old bedroom, I had thought if we blow out build a bump out going the two far directions, make our old bedroom like a master suite, and then our current bedroom could go back to a family room. That would be probably the easiest way for us to get something beneficial, but it's still just, then it's wonky, and then we would put no basement under that part, which then
might be cold in the winter.
Would might be cold in the winter. And
basements are cheaper, usually, the square footage in a basement.
Yeah.
We could get more for our money, I think, with a new basement, but maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, Ellie again. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. I don't know. We run all things. That's about half the time we spend talking. I feel is running ideas.
Yeah, we love ideas.
Are the kids still enjoying the go-karts?
The kids have not driven them in a while. I think that they would. Why haven't they? I don't know. What, me?
We'll take some oversight too. Don, do you still recommend this water bottle? Yes. I don't know how many ounces it is. The Owala. I don't know. You can go on Amazon. It is just very enjoyable to drink from. Doesn't spill.
Adeline has one too.
Yep. I don't know how many ounces this one is though. I like, this is 32 ounces. I like this size. I had the bigger one. 32 ounces is nice. The other one was a little bit too big. It's really heavy when it's full then. You've shared the big dream list you did years ago, and it seems you've accomplished them all. What is your next big goal? Oh, I shared that on the interview with Rachel Cruz. What's your next big goal?
I'm curious what your answer is.
You know, I think once we get these current projects done, there's just a lot of different directions we could go. So I don't know. I think we're kind of waiting to get to that. I'm waiting to get to that point and then see what feels right for the next move. If it's our house, if it's buying another rental, if it's a vacation rental.
All of the above.
There you go.
That's my answer.
I want them all. More wishes.
More wishes. I don't get stressed about too many things. I want them all.
Maybe down the road you could put in an outhouse. That's the best part of living in the country. There you go.
Maybe.
Tom, when are you going to replace the red barn window that Dawn wanted done?
All right. Helpful and happy.
I
thought we talked about Tom having too much on his plate.
So we were on the way to Menards one day. We went a different route, and there was a little barn that was really cute. I'm like, slow down, look at it. And I think it gave us some ideas.
Obviously, I stepped on it.
So I don't know. Maybe next summer we could do that.
Yeah, probably. We actually talked about, so when they're going to pour the concrete pad here, they're probably going to overshoot the concrete and have too much concrete about repouring the pad in front of that barn. Or maybe I should tell them about that now so they get a little bit more concrete.
Yeah, well, it's really small.
It's super. It would be
it's
like.
probably not even that thick either.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. Dawn and Tom, I'm excited to see what comes next. Love you both. Well, thank you, Diana.
Oh,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
that. I'm in Florida, so basements are a foreign thing to us. Yeah, but I still keep hearing about flooding and moisture issues in basements up north. Will that not be a problem? So a couple things. Actually, my brother used to do water restoration, and I was actually just asking him a question recently about it because someone had had problems with their basement, and he said basements were never meant to be lived in. That even, up here in Minnesota, that they were more meant for like cellar and storage and that kind of stuff. A lot of people have their laundry down there, but it's not finished. He was like, as soon as people started finishing basements, that's when we had problems, because even ours will get wet, but we can dry it because it's not finished. And so it's not the end of the world if a couple times a year it gets some moisture. So it's when you finish it, that's a problem. But with that being said, the process Tom has had to go through with like the basement on the moved in house, they are doing a lot of things that make them more reliable. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and also more expensive.
Oh yeah, a lot more hoops to jump through.
More, yeah.
But with tile line around it, having to do a waterproof coating on the outside of the cement.
Yeah,
and then you have to do a whole sheeting on the outside of it, or what?
Yeah. Well, that's insulation.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, then on top of it, now we have to do a radon basket because radon's apparently a thing. Gas is coming up from the ground underneath your house, so then you got to do a whole system for that. It's all just silly, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because we can double the square footage of that house by doing it, So we're planning on leaving it unfinished, the moved-in house for now. People can, if they want to put an area rug or put a TV down there, you still totally can, but we wouldn't have to worry as much.
And even that, so that moved-in house, and then the one next door to it that we'll put in next year. We're doing in-floor heat in both of those houses, not because we actually think they're going to need it, but because it's a nice bonus for resale. So if we ever want to sell those houses, it'll make them more appealable.
Makes the heating much more efficient.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great for renters though too. I mean, that's going to keep their LP bill, because it'll be, they'll need liquid propane tanks, their own. I think that's going to make it so much more efficient.
Yeah. So my plan for that house this winter is to not worry about getting the furnace taken care of at all. Just getting the boiler in. So then while I work out there, I'll just have the in-floor heat on in the floor of the basement, and it'll radiate up through the whole house, keep the whole house warm enough for me to work in, which will be plenty warm.
So I think it's a great way to keep renters longer if you have that. It's a really comfortable heat too. It's very even, and you can keep it a little warmer. Advice on DIY basement flooring.
I would say anything vinyl plank. So that was actually another question too. Someone had asked, do you have to worry about the vinyl plank getting wet and molding? It is, well, at least the stuff we buy is 100% vinyl. Like you cut through it and break it, it's all vinyl. It's just one solid material. It is designed so that like when the first vinyl plank flooring we put in our house, they sold it to us because they're like, oh yeah, if you put it in a basement, it's perfect, because if it gets wet, you just
dry it out,
dry back out, and you're fine. Like it's not gonna, there's no damage gonna be caused to it. So.
And that's the other thing my brother would emphasize too. It's not the end of the world if stuff gets wet.
It's
when it doesn't get dried, and it doesn't start molding the day it gets wet. It takes a while.
The other thing too on those houses with in-floor heat and like this, if they did get wet, you just crank the heat up on the in-floor. Like obviously, if it's more than like just like wetness, the in-floor heat will dry it up. So.
When are you two going to just do nothing? You always have so much going on.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? I would be down with doing nothing more than Dawn would be down with doing nothing.
That's probably true. I don't work as hard as you, though, physically. The wedding that was supposed to take place there, will that be happening this coming summer? So we don't know what's going to happen.
They may be having some.
Maybe it might not happen.
Something, yeah.
So. We'll keep it. You will know for sure. Will you put a ceiling in the basement you showed in a video a few weeks ago, or are they normally just open, showing the underside of the floor above?
Which basement? With the cracked house?
Well, any of them aren't finished. Ours is the farmhouse or the cracked house. So if they're not finished, then you usually just see the floor joists from the floor above.
Yeah, I mean, the farmhouse, we will never finish the ceiling there.
Unless we raise it. Finish the whole basement.
The cracked house and then its neighbor, the one next door, those will eventually get finished, yes, and they'll be sheetrocked.
How much time do you spend on housework, cleaning, and laundry a day? Fellow homeschool mom of 4 here.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say about a half hour. Our kids contribute a ton. So, and they also get a lot of privileges.
And that's what I was going to say. If they don't contribute, they don't get to go where they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Have you finished all the renos in your own house, or do you have to go back?
Oh, come on, you guys. We don't finish anything.
There's not much. You actually just finished the flooring in the laundry room this week. So it's really just the stairs going up to the landing.
Which is part of the drywall video.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get that finished.
No, our house is not far off from being completely done.
Mm-hmm. How many cars do you currently own? Would you be willing to do a video showing them?
I would, but I don't know that anyone would watch that video.
Could do like a
I like cars, but I know that a lot of people don't.
I lived in Washington State all my life and basements in almost every house. Here in Arizona, almost no basements. Very sad. I wish I had a basement. Well, crybaby me. I mean, Tom and I talk about building a slab on grade though, because we could put in-floor heat, which would make it very warm. But we're like, you just fill it up with crap. Like, I don't know.
That's not why I thought you could say that. I don't want to do steps when we're older. I don't want us to have to do steps. Mm-hmm. Like, we move fine now, but I know that someday we might not.
Yeah. Have you had issues with water, floor heating? We had electric.
I have not actually had any problems with floor heating ever.
What is the brand and model of your camper? We're shopping for a trailer to go spend nights in our Montana mountains. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Heidi.
What is it? It's a Forest River something manufactured.
Yeah, I can't think of
I don't know.
17 foot?
It's small, yeah. 17 or 19, something like that. I think 17 sounds right.
It really is plenty big enough for all 6 of us for camping. We wouldn't take it like down to Florida for a month like we did our other one.
No, that would be
camping. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
You would just want a dual axle. That would be your.
Yes. Yep.
When you have so many projects going on at the same time as you do now, how do you both come to agreement on daily priorities? What's the next question?
We don't. We absolutely do not come to an agreement on daily priorities. So usually goes where Dawn has a very full day of very productive and efficient things going on. And I'm like a chicken running around with my head cut off. And Dawn's looking from her nice peaceful seat thinking, why don't you just do it the way I told you to do it?
No, that's not my thing. Do you find yourself getting more stuff since you have more space in the office? We live in the Alps. Space is limited, basement tiny. We are forced to always reduce. No stuff from Stuff Mart. I am so stuff adverse right now. I just feel like I can't handle any
Yeah, we do. So we do have some stuff in the office that is stored in here that needs to go out to the cracked house. It's like the furnace and the water heater and some of that like ductwork kind of stuff that we put in here because we had nowhere else to put it. And it's just sitting here until we need it in that house. So we do have some stuff sitting here, but it's not like, it's more just like a warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I honestly see limited storage as a blessing now. Tom, will you share information on the in-floor heating system you use? We have it in 2 bathrooms and they were all self-contained, nothing like your shed. Okay, so that's probably a completely different type of, that's probably like electric heat.
Yeah.
If it's in a bathroom floor?
Yeah, it's most likely electric wires running on like coiled back and forth underneath whatever your flooring is. That's most likely what you have, which is completely different than the system we have in these buildings, which are hot water running through tubes in like concreted in the floor. But I might be wrong. I'm just speculating. Yeah. I don't know what you have in your floor.
Ooh, any plans for your 40th birthday? We haven't asked people to subscribe yet. Where are you at?
Oh, yeah. Super far off, but that's my fault because I stopped doing daily videos because that was a lot of work. And you can't do it every day and have a functioning brain. No, I just plan to make it through the day. I didn't think I'd ever hit 40. And so if I can hit 40 in a day, no, I'm kidding.
I'm going to get that done.
I never questioned that.
No.
No.
We're going to go out to dinner this weekend. So Yes.
Nope. Otherwise, nothing. Not like what Dawn did last year.
More like what Diana did. Let's see. What to look for when viewing a house to buy?
Well, I would say, so everyone's going to look at a house to buy as like the layout, the neighborhood, like the finishes, like, is it cute? I would challenge you to look past all, I mean, obviously that stuff's important, but what may be more important is the bones of it, the roof, the siding, like how the windows are flashed or not flashed on the outside. I think if you have a house that has good bones and good exterior, you can make anything work. Or at least we can make anything work.
Yeah, it often felt like when we were going through houses with buyers, if it had new carpet and new paint and new trim, they were like, oh, this is so nice. And
like, this is the cheapest, that's the cheapest thing.
$3,000 in lipstick, like, but the furnace is 25 years old and the AC is, and the roof is going to need it. And I think, I mean, really looking at how well it's been maintained. If it looks like it's been well maintained, your appliances are going to last longer, your HVAC's going to last longer.
Or even like grading. Like, like you have to look at the exterior of the house and like, is the ground sloping towards the house, or is it flat, or is it sloping away from the house? Like, those things are super important. And if you don't know how to fix them, could be wildly costly to repair if you get a crazy storm and all the water runs to your house.
But mostly get a home inspection. Be there when the home inspector is there.
Ask a million questions because you're paying them to inspect this house.
Yep. Did you get all the paint cleaned up? I still want to try and get a little bit more off of the door. So it's like 95% cleaned up.
Yeah.
Do you use a property management company?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have enough going on and I don't want to have to manage a tenant on top of it.
I think too, the whole, I think down the road, we might get to a point where we do it on our own. But for them to take the applications, screen the applicant, do the background check, get everything set up for the payments. So it's pretty standard fees where to find a tenant, it's 1 month rent, and then they charge $100 a month to manage it. And they deal with all the requests for things that come up and all that. So for right now, that seems worthwhile to us.
Yeah. And I will do all of the property maintenance. So things that come up, I'm not paying the property management company to fix something. I'll go do that myself. But as far as the management side, I'm not taking on any of that until, I mean, maybe like Dawn said, maybe when we're done with all of the houses, maybe. But
yeah, I love this. Wow, you folks with your basements and laundry rooms and hall closets. I'm in Dublin, Ireland, and we're lucky if we get a closet in a bedroom or a hallway at all. Right? Aren't we such whiners?
It's true.
Dawn, will you do another video with Diana for minimal purchases necessary with a newborn? Oh yeah, expecting in 4 weeks and not looking forward to drowning and stuff. Yeah, we're actually having a baby sprinkle for Diana tomorrow. And she was like, I need some bottles and diapers is about it. So yeah, that would be fun. We should do that again.
Why is it called a sprinkle?
Because it's not a shower. You have a shower.
Because it's her fourth child. Why is she having a shower?
Yeah, it's just meant to, sometimes you need a few new things for another baby. So, what questions do you ask a home inspector? You shouldn't really, they have their whole checklist of things. It's more ask clarifying questions.
I would walk around the house and anything that looks peculiar to you.
Yeah.
What about this? What about that? Like anything like that. Or if something was clear, like if there's a part of the ceiling that looks like it was patched, like, did you find anything of reasons why that was patched? Did you I mean, literally anything. And
the home inspectors can cause problems too. Sometimes
they can make a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah. We had one recently, and what was it with the dryer breaker? He was like, it doesn't have the right amp, a dryer breaker or the AC or dryer.
Oh, and you're like, what was that?
You're on the wrong breaker.
And that was the thing. I called the inspector out. I'm like, dude, you're looking at the panels labeled wrong. Like, flip the breaker and go test it. Somebody labeled the panel incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're human.
Yeah.
But mostly you're still better off to get one than not get one.
Yep.
Will you have a renter before the snow flies?
Yes, unless it snows super soon.
Which please
don't do that.
Yeah, so I mean, your hope is to have the gal from the management company come through next week, or that's my hope. I don't know if that's Tom's hope or not.
Where was that question up earlier?
So, I mean, realistically, what?
3 weeks.
Couple weeks. Couple.
I say a
couple. 3
I say
weeks.
3 Dawn says a couple.
2 days. If you remember that video, that was a long time ago. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it'll get done
someday.
Yep. But hey, the counter came in for the island. The backsplash is getting tiled. Mm-hmm. Appliances are going to be taken care of. So we're getting there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Mary, S1977. Is that like S197 Mustangs? Is that what it is? S1. I'm sorry, not her comment at all.
Yeah, I know. Well, it pulls up her name.
S197. Yeah. I don't know what the second 7's about, but S197 is a Mustang body style.
Mustang or Camaro?
Mustang.
Oh. Follow the inspector and learn how to operate your home. Where are the shutoff valves? How to change the furnace filters, etc. Yes, that's good. Yeah, that is true. You do want to know where all the shutoffs are, because I don't remember what house we were in. They did not have a main water shutoff, and the inspector was like, "Whoa, if you had a issue,
yeah,
like, how are you going to turn the water off?
You're just going to watch your house fill with water."
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the market right now, but don't be afraid to negotiate stuff too. If there are things that you want fixed, ask for it. The worst thing the sellers are going to do is say no. At this point, you're already under contract. So I don't know. We see it both ways. Sometimes people want to ask for too many things, but then you also see people like, oh, we want to ask. I'm like, no, you can ask for some things. So, Yep. I will be 40 next time I have a birthday.
Me too.
That's awesome. Awesome. 1997 is a year.
No, that was 1977.
Yeah, 1920.
It is a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry, awesome. My brain went somewhere else. Previous owner of a 100 and 210-year-old homes totally support the good bones comment and home inspector. Yeah. You can usually kind of get a vibe too if the person did a lot of DIY stuff or not, so sometimes that can just, that's no good. Tom does good DIY, but not everybody does. No. Do you remember the Airbnb we stayed at in Colorado?
Oh, yeah. That was pretty sketch.
I was like, come on, you guys.
Yeah. What baby step? I don't know the baby steps well enough.
7.
All right. Awesome. Well, super fun to get to hang out with you all today.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you want to mention?
No, thanks for watching. I'd love it if you subscribed. I will see
you.
Have a
party? That's what we should.
I will see you in a couple days.
We should not have a party for your 40th. We should have a party for the farmhouse getting done.
Okay.
Or both.
I don't really care. All right. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.